You brought up some claims about Kamala Harris. So I want to finish that discussion. She said she didn't favor a ban on fracking now. The reality is she was one of the strongest proponents of that ban, so much so that when she was in California, she sued the Obama administration over granting fracking permits. She didn't just favor the abolition of private health insurance. Is someone allowed to evolve? Of course they are, but she deserves to explain exactly why she's changed those positions, exactly what her position is. If it's not a ban on fracking, what exactly is it? What exactly is her healthcare plan if she no longer favors abolishing private health insurance, which just 4 short years ago when she ran for president, she did? And that's the kind of scrutiny that's been missing.
interesting about, between now and election, through the debate, all the rest of it, about how much she owns of the administration that she's in versus what she throws under the bus. I thought the idea that she was out there arm in arm, cuddles and everything with Biden on the public holiday, yes, unions, all the rest of it, but still, any proximity to him, you would think a little bit of, a bit of Joe gets on you, a little bit of kryptonite, which you don't want. But she seems to still be fine swimming in the same lane.
I mean, really, what choice does she have? Let's see if she brings him to Michigan. I'll wait. Right? She brings him to Pennsylvania, where he grew up, and not far from, it's sort of the working class vote, right, that she's trying to get in the unions. So I know, but he's a liability to her, and she knows it. There's a reason she strategically deployed him in one state only so far. And what we're hearing is that she may now try to distance herself from certain aspects of the Biden presidency, including Afghanistan. Well, let's see about that. I mean, we realize she wasn't commander in chief, but she can't both have the benefit of trying to act like she was tough guy number 2 in there, last person in the room, saying, go for it, Joe. Love your plan. Let's do it exactly as you want. And by the way, she's another person who said it was a success, right? That it was handled brilliantly. She can't both take those positions and now say, oh, the truth is it was handled horribly and I had nothing to do with it. I think even this media will not let her get away with that, but we are hearing reports she's about to try to draw distance on Afghanistan. The economic plan, she's already embraced. I mean, the Wall Street Journal had an article last week talking about her tax plan. It's exactly like Joe Biden's. She's proposing all the same things he did, which is going to be an enormous new tax burden on most Americans, everyone earning more than $400,000. And that means small business owners are about to see their taxes go through the roof, which means people will get laid off. Prices will go up. And that's Joe Biden's tax plan. Bidenomics, she's already endorsed it. So she's in a pickle when it comes to the most important issue in this campaign. What she's doing instead right now is going hard on abortion, to the point where it's actually becoming the number 1 issue again in some polling. She's doing an effective job of driving the issue over and over again. And you saw Trump absolutely flailing this past 3 days on the issue. It's like he hasn't settled his position. He's throwing darts at a board like, well, maybe it'll help if I'm pro-choice now. And then his conservative base is like, what are you doing? We wanted a pro-choice. We would have stuck with Mitt Romney. We don't need you. Anyway, Mitt Romney says he's pro-life. But that's what she's doing. She's leaning hard into abortion, and we'll see whether that works, because this campaign is turning into a female versus male contest, and women in America are very, very motivated by the desire to take out unborn life.
Well, we've talked about this before, right? That if it's about abortion, then she's going to win, and she's going to win handily. But something that's going to help in terms of how abortion plays into the election is that there's going to be state referendum, as we call them here, ballot initiatives, as you call them there. And
Arizona and Nevada.
And Florida. Now, Florida should be won by the Republicans by 20 points. But polling on abortion, well, they're pro a very different system than the one the government has in place. So if swing states, and if Democrats want to win, they want to get it into as many swing states as possible, because that is going to be a huge determinant. Huge.
I cannot believe that in Florida there would not be split ticket votes. That maybe they'll go and they'll vote for a more relaxed abortion policy, but they'll vote Republican at the top of the line. Florida's red now. It's not purple. If she pulls out a win in Florida, then it's going to be a landslide Harris victory. But nothing in the polling is showing us that she's poised to even win, never mind win by a landslide. So I don't see that happening. But it's a very smart strategy. This is how George Bush won re-election in 2004. They put gay marriage on the ballot in many of these swing states, and in particular, black voters were against it and came out to vote against it. And that's how he won re-election. It was Karl Rove re-election strategy. It won for the Democrats again in the midterms in 2022, post-Dobbs. And it's likely to drive some votes this election too. And if that happens, then we're just going to have to accept that here in America, we are still dealing with the post-Dobbs, which is the case that reversed Roe, fallout, and that Republicans may not be winning any elections until that fallout has settled and abortion policy has now been resettled by the states in a way that Democrats who are really motivated by this issue will rush to the polls to weigh in on. I mean, that's just a natural consequence of Dobbs. It's the way it had to happen. Dobbs had to happen. Roe was a lie. It was made up law. There is nothing in the Constitution that speaks to the stuff it said. And so, in a way, the system's playing out exactly as it must. But Donald Trump needs to have a very clear message on this. And clearly he's rattled because he came out with absolute nonsense on Friday that was kind of alarming to see. One wonders what his internal polls are showing in places like Florida. The obvious conclusion is it's not good. And now he's swung his messaging back toward the more pro-life position, which also makes me think, is that good? Because clearly you're so rattled by whatever told you needed to sound like you were pro-choice. So now you haven't solved it. So where are we? What is he seeing that we're not?